Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to another episode of with Najma Ansari. We are trying to connect with the conversations in the Quran. And today, inshallah, we'll be looking at Ibrahim alayhi salam and the angels. So, alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. So this conversation between Ibrahim alayhi salam and the angels is when they came on a double mission to give him the good news of announcing the good news of a son that he was to have, and this was Ishaq alayhi salam. We did the story of his conversation with Ismail alayhi salam about the sacrifice that he had to do. Here the angels are bringing him the good news of Ishaq alayhi salam's birth. So it comes in two places in Surah Hud, in ayahs 69 and 76. And whatever you miss, and if you're really interested in having it, you can search it on the net by itself. But if you're more than welcome to message me, email me, and which will appear, and to ask me where did you get the reference for these things. So here it's about his how they came to give him the good news, and also that they were the impending destruction of Lut alayhi salam. So these were the double mission that the angels came from. And I'm just going to see how Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he had it, he didn't know they were angels to begin with. And so what was it? His immediate take-home lesson for us is his immediate action was to be on hospitality and generosity. So as soon as somebody comes in the house, like, I know in hot countries frequently it happens that when you go, the first thing they do is they bring you water, especially if you're coming from far or something. They immediately bring you water and serve you water, mostly. It occurs to me, and it doesn't occur to me, but I'm saying those are the kind of action. What does he do? It's hospitality and generosity. And here in Surah Hud it says, has a story reached you about how of the honored guest of Daifi Ibrahim Mukramin, that they were Kareem, they were very the honored guests of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So they entered his presence, Izdaqalu alayhi, when they came to him, faqalu salama, and said salam. He said qala salamun qawmun munkarun. But even though they seemed an unusual sort of people, but then, nonetheless, he quickly turned into his household, brought out a fatted calf. So how long did that time take? What it does, Allah chose not to tell us. The point that of the, and this is where we need to go. Oh, but did he have to tell it? He wasn't ready. Did he have to go out and buy a goat, a calf? It says here, bi'ijlin samin, that a fatted cow, and he placed it before him, and then he says, qala la takulu. Aren't you going to eat? Please, tafaddal, we say. That, as soon as we have. So, and this is why it's beautiful. If in Ramadan you have people coming to you suddenly at your door, you didn't expect them. Oh, my samosas are too short. This is too, I didn't make enough. I didn't make this. So, but no, everything goes a further distance. They say what can feed two can feed three, or maybe even more, and so on and so forth. So we need to have this attitude of hospitality even with nothing. And we have seen this in Palestine. I mean, it's amazing. A child, she just got a bare minimum, but she saw another child and she shared it. And that to me comes like, you think you're waiting 2 hours for this truck to come, for for them to offload the food or whatever. And now that you have it, you're going to stick to it. But the beauty that you've seen in all of Gaza, of what's been going on, is also that sharing spirit that you share. And so anyway, they did not, when they did not eat, he said, فَأَوْجَسَ مِنْهُمْ خِيفَةً, that he felt a sense of fear with them. And what was that fear? It was that, who are they? What are they? And so they said, fear not, la takhaf, don't fear us. We're going to give you, وَبَشُّرْهُ بِغُلَامٍ أَلِيمٍ. We are giving you the good news of a ghulam that's azim. And that's what we've come for. So they immediately got to the point when they saw that he's being, sort of fearful of it, they immediately came to the point. It isn't that you waffle, like in meetings, you waffle around till you get to the point. No, he treated the guests with respect and care, and that's a key value in Islam. And they also immediately gave us the answer that this is what we've come for. And so you need to have, so when they brought in the news of Ishaq, despite their old age, they responded, Ibrahim alayhi salam responded with wonder, but ultimately trusted Allah's promise, if this is to be. So it teaches us to maintain faith and optimism in Allah's plan, even when something seems impossible or unlikely. It's like, what's going to happen? I'm sort of yearning for something, it's impossible. Now, I can't run the marathon, but I'd love to, and then instead somebody says, no, maybe. It's like, especially, look, we don't get these direct wahis from Allah. But when you have, if this is the time of Ramadan, of when we strengthen our connection with Allah, and we do get these light bulb moments of Allah is telling us something good about, yes, this could happen, and then trust it, even in the face of not knowing, not people, you don't always have to share everything and bleat everything out. Oh, I think I'm going to get, whatever, my papers to go to wherever I think is a beautiful place to go to, and that you don't have to bleat everything out until it happens. But the flip side is that have that trust within yourself of maintaining faith and optimism in Allah's plan. And then compassion. Okay, then the other beautiful thing is that the angels brought this news about the second lesson being about that they are gone to destroy the people of Lut alayhi salam, okay, due to their transgression. So the amazing thing is Ibrahim alayhi salam begins to plead for their mercy and sought leniency to them, showing his compassionate nature. So when they said, and what else is your errand? When they said, and so Allah, this is still, I'm looking at Surah Al-Dhariyat where it talks about this story, and he says, we have been sent to a people steeped deep in sin, and to bring them on them linursila alayhim hijaratan min teen, and we're gonna shower them with this hijara, with showers of stones of clay. And then so what did Musa alayhi salam, what did Ibrahim alayhi salam say? He said his concern was that can't you let them be? And let me try and get to you to that ayah. And when he, so the same story comes in Surah Hud and Surah Al-Dhariyat. So when the fear had passed, again same story had reached him. He said, "What are you here for?" And then he began to يَدِّلُونَ يُجَادِلُونَ فِي قَوْمِ لُوط, that he argued, he pleaded for their case, and then but for he was, and then so his wanting to defend or saying, oh, but go easy on them, or maybe they'll still come right. This idea of compassion for others, even wrongdoers, is so, and Allah showcases that, and He says, Ibrahim, He says, Ya Ibrahim, oh, seek not the decree, and seek not this, for it's the decree of Allah that has gone out to them, and the penalty you cannot turn. With Nuh alayhi salam, his compassion for his child, and Allah said, he's not from your child. So here too, but Ibrahim, yes, this is the ayah I wanted to read, 71. Inna Ibrahima la halimun awahun munib. He was without doubt forbearing. Halim. Halim is a beautiful thing, and compassionate and given to look at returning to Allah. And then Allah told him, don't worry about them. So the concern that he had, it's priceless, this compassion. I mean, just for if my work is late one day, too late, comes on the wrong day, this or that, it's like, you want to chop off their head, kind of. Or even if you don't want to, I'm using myself as an example in first place, is that how even if you don't and you do, but you're still, grudging, and look at that. And so Allah knows, I just pray somehow this compassion and this concern for others steeps deep in me and in all of us as Muslims, as we have the compassion for what's happening at a distance to all the oppressed people. But even within our own families, can we have this level of compassion? I truly pray in this blessed month of Ramadan that I learn to have, even when they're wrong, but just have a bit of compassion for them. And it's like even when it shows that seeking guidance, hoping to save others is before condemnation. And that's what our dawah also does, and we've seen that again and again, is that instead of giving up, really working with them. Then the other thing is accepting divine decree is with humility. And Allah said, no, that's what's going to happen to them. So that's where we are. We're going to stick with that. And just to see that, it shows that the angels as messengers who come to execute Allah's laws on earth, whether it's good news or bad news. And subhanAllah, with Ibrahim alayhi salam, when these angels came, it was first giving him the good news of what's with him, and then for Lut alayhi salam's people, what is. So for me, the take home there is how in everything you can make it be. It's not like, you're having a meeting now, we're only going to talk about all that's bad or happening in our little whatever corporate body corporate of the housing. This is wrong, the electricity doesn't work, the water, At the same time, have an agenda of these things have been going well. Oh, this has been going good. This is for me, I'm personally just saying it, of taking the take-home message. But the lesson, it highlights that reality in terms with angels, because it's not likely that angels are coming to me or to us in these days. But, have your antenna for the unseen open and say that the mechanism through which Allah's will is carried out is immense. And remind believers that Allah's comprehensive authority and the role of angels in implementing His divine. We don't know how an accident is about to happen and somebody's saved. So there are angels. And the same thing I'll bring, the concept of angels we need to have very clear when we have at a funeral, at a mayyat. Know that the angels are working full time with the soul that is departed. And we are busy chattering. So I see it as a disturbance to what the angels carrying out their rule. So really at the time of death you can see something is happening to this body and the soul is leaving. Who's doing it? Who's taking it away? So be aware that Allah's the unseen, and we have it amantu billahi of our iman, our kalimat of iman, that how we believe in Allah, His angels, His books, and His prophets, and the day of last day. And if I'm not getting it in the right order, because I'm always in a hurry to speak fast, is Allah forgive me, but we all know that of amantu billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusulihi wa يوم وقدر خيره وبعث بعد الموت. And even now, if I have not said it right, Allah forgive me. But to say that, know that angels are working. They say under age 2, a child is in the, when he gurgles and he laughs and he's looking up, he is in the realm, the angelic realm. With disabled people, sometimes you can see, I've just recently witnessed how he's always talking in signs with some, and so who is he talking to? Yes, okay, so he's challenged anyway. But the beautiful thing is you don't know what they see. You have no idea what world they are living in. So that's just another beautiful reminder and now I'm backtracking, I'll say the role of angels, that their divine messages, accepting divine decree with humility, compassion for others even when they're wrong, and faith and optimism in Allah's divine promises. So I love to join it with, I love that ayah in Surah Ar-Rahman, which says, Hal jaza'ul ihsan illa al-ihsan. Is there any reward for ihsan, for goodness other than goodness? And then also about the hospitality and generosity. So in this story also with Ibrahim alayhi salam and the angels, I just wanted to showcase how beautifully you deal with whatever situations comes to you in as a sudden, as goodness. So never have this long planned out, this is going to happen, we were going to go there, oh it rained so we couldn't go there, now we're upset. Be appropriate to the moment to moment. And that learning of, as soon as he saw the guests, he did what was appropriate, was in hospitality. He was a bit fearful when they didn't eat, but then he was able to quickly refine his equilibrium. It's not that his fear, now for 3 days I'm palpitating and I'm not going to be able to come right again. So we need to have that taqwa to carry us, to bring us right back on track, right back on track. So with that, I'd like to end off and hope that these conversations that we are seeing in the Quran are beneficial to us, and there's always some take home for us for our own betterment. So with that, I'd like to end up, and I hope it's been beneficial for you and me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.